Hey guys, welcome to a series I am launching here in 2022, and that is all about YouTube channels and helping your YouTube channel to grow and developing a community around your channel. So I've been a part of the YouTube world now for 2 years, mainly over on my BookTube channel, and I thought about kind of sharing some tips and tricks there, but it doesn't really make sense to do it there. Thought about sharing it other places, but I've just decided to do it here. This will be a weekly-ish series for the next while. I don't really have it planned out, all the things I want to cover. There's so many different ways I could go about this. I do not have the world's biggest YouTube channel by far, but I really do like talking about the YouTube world and analytics and like the behind the scenes stuff, and so I thought this is where I'd like to share it. So today we're going to be talking about 10 tips to help you grow your YouTube channel / community. This is really good for if you're starting out. There's a lot of things I see people kind of missing at the beginning of their channel, but it's also good for people that have been doing this for a while. It's really good for you to like stop and take a look at what you have been doing and see what has been working, what hasn't, and if there are some things that like you've missed over time. Yeah, so we're going to kind of cover a variety of different things, 10 different things, like I said, and I think possibly a bonus as well. So 11, but 11 isn't as good of a number, so we're going to go with 10 plus a bonus. So even though some of these things are going to seem really small, don't overlook them. I feel like they may seem small, but they actually end up being big. So the first thing I want to talk about is your YouTube homepage, your channel page. So when you click over to your YouTube channel, what do you see? What do other people see? If you want, you can see your channel as kind of like the entrance into your home. You're welcoming people to your channel like you welcome people to your home. So do you have it set up nicely for them? Or is it kind of just a cluttered mess and hard to find things? So I want you to make sure your homepage looks like something. So what this means is have a banner. Make sure you have some kind of banner across the top showing a little bit about your personality or your channel. You also want to have the bottom of your channel set up properly. Now for me, I like to have a main video. You can set this up in the customize your channel section. You can choose different videos, and I swap this out on a regular basis. You can have a different video for people who are subscribed to your channel and people who are not. And I like to change this depending, some of my most recent videos, I like to do some of the more popular ones, some that I think people are going to be kind of drawn into, some that sum up my channel so that people kind of know what they're getting into when they come. And then below that original main video, I like to have a bunch of different playlists. So this can be some more popular videos. It can be like a certain playlist that is popular. So for instance, on my BookTube channel, my TBRs are really popular, so I have that as a playlist. Just set it up in a way that when people come, they have a like smorgasbord of options of videos to watch, that if they're coming to your channel and like your general vibe and things that you share, that they'll want to watch a bunch of those videos. That is a huge thing. It's like your welcome mat. How are you showing your first glimpse into your home, really? I like that visual. So like I said, these tips are going to be all over the place. The next thing is to add tags. So I mostly mean when you are uploading your video, at the bottom, when you're creating your video, when you're getting it ready to upload, there is the option to add tags. And don't just like spam all the tags that you can possibly think of. Use applicable tags for your video. So if you're doing a video about minimalism, for instance, you can write minimalism, but if it's like a specific decluttering video, you could write like, I have a decluttering my office, or declutter with me. You can do a variety of different phrases that you think people will be searching for and put those in the tags. You have up to 500 characters for the tags, and honestly, use as many of them as you can without being spammy. Like, make them applicable, but use as much as you can, because it gives people more opportunities to find you, because then YouTube knows how to categorize your video and who to show those videos to. Next, I would really highly recommend joining or creating a community. So thankfully for me, when I joined BookTube, there is a big booktube community, but then I kind of found a little bit of a niche area where certain people kind of watch each other's videos, and we kind of all have the same book, a little bit of an overlap on our book tastes. So depending what you're sharing about, find a community or create one. If you are really niche and you like to talk about tattoos and chihuahuas, see if you can find some more people on YouTube who like tattoos and chihuahuas and start creating that community. I think most people won't be quite so niche, so you might have to go a little broader. But if you have like a large family and you want to talk about minimalism with a large family or something, there's tons of people online. Find people with some like similar values as you that are posting videos similar to what you want to be posting, and start to get to know them. Start to create that community so you guys can do collabs together or just do shout outs, and so that you can both help each other's channels to grow. I personally view YouTube as a community over a competition. So it's not like people have to choose, they're either subscribed to you or to this person. No, they get to be subscribed to both. And if you can both help each other out, that's even better. My next tip is to make a schedule. This is for you so you can be consistent, but it is also for your subscribers so they know when to expect videos from you. So for instance, on my booktube channel, I've changed my schedule over time, but I always try to stay consistent to what it is for that period. For this next year, I've told them, my subscribers, that I will be posting on Mondays, and if I have an extra video, it will go Thursdays, but like Mondays, they can expect a video from me. Now, you might think you have tons of ideas and want to do lots of videos, and that's great, but before you've really got into the groove, I think it's really good just to pick one day a week to be consistent. And then if you find you have extra videos or extra time, then you can add those in kind of like halfway through. So for me, I do Mondays, and then Thursday is kind of like the midpoint. So if I have an extra video, then I'll put another one up on Thursday. But you're better off setting a schedule that's like weekly and then throwing an extra video in there every now and then, instead of saying you're going to post like 4 times a week and then not being able to do that. Okay, now here is a tip that I heard back when I was starting my channel, and I honestly don't know if there's anything to this, but I continue to do this to this day, and I think there might be something behind it. And that is, after you have your video scheduled, I never like post them live. I don't usually premiere them. I usually just schedule them. After I've scheduled it, usually a few days before it goes live, then what I do is I go in and I watch that video, often on mute because I've already watched it through a few times as I've been editing. I let my computer watch the video, and I like the video. And I don't know, I do remember who said to do that, but I don't really know if there was something behind it. But I do know that when I am scrolling through my subscription feed and I see a video with no views, that feels sad, whereas your video, when it goes live, if you've viewed it once, it already has 1 view. I really don't know if there's anything behind this, but it seems to be working for me, so I'm continuing to do it, and I'll just continue to do it. You can choose to do this one or not, but I think there's something there. I just have no actual proof on this one. Okay, let's talk about thumbnails. Thumbnails are very important, and probably the hardest part about YouTube, I find. I definitely have a bit of I get stuck in a rut with thumbnails. I do know that thumbnails with faces do exponentially better than thumbnails without faces, depending on what your channel's about. If you're talking about tattoos and chihuahuas, maybe you should have tattoos and chihuahuas on your thumbnail. But if it's about you or something you're doing, people want to know who it is they're going to be watching before they click on the video. So faces perform exponentially better. And then I like to switch up my thumbnails every now and then by doing different text or different colors, but for a few months I have the same font, the same kind of like color thing going on, and then I switch it up. It's almost like a slight rebranding of my thumbnail every few months, and I think it's good to try different things, see what works best. I pretty much always take a separate thumbnail image and don't do a screenshot of a video, because I often find when I have forgotten to take a thumbnail picture, I find I have all these like weird expressions and I can't find a proper thumbnail picture because when I'm looking at the camera, I'm usually talking. And so I'm not smiling or doing anything like that. And it can be hard to get a screenshot. So I like to take my thumbnails separate. And then I almost always, like to have some text on the thumbnail as well. And I think it's important to note that you do not need to have the same text on your thumbnail that is your title. Your title is really important. I'm actually not even going to be talking about that at all today, but your thumbnail gives you space to get people in without having to say like, this is what my video's about. Now, sometimes I do that. I'll just say like January TBR or to be read on my January TBR video. But sometimes I'll write like, can I read this many books or something like that, something else to get people to click. It's like you have the two options, well, three really. You have your title, you have your thumbnail picture, and then you have your thumbnail text. It's all different opportunities for people to click in. Another thing that YouTube really likes to see is interaction. So it's really important in the first few hours of launching your video to reply to comments that you get. The more interaction on a video, the more YouTube will promote it. So generally for like, usually my videos go live at 6 a.m. my time. So anything kind of before 12 p.m. I like to try to get to those comments as soon as possible. Now obviously this happens where I can't do it all the time. But it is important, I think, to get interacting, and it helps to build that community. It helps YouTube to know that you're there, and then therefore they want to promote your video. It also makes you more of a person that people are interested in getting to know, because you're not just putting out a video and then not continuing the conversation. I think conversations are continued in the comments. And so I think that's very important. Then I would highly suggest using your end screen. So if you watched my videos, at the end of my screen, I always have a couple different cards, I can't even think of the right word, different videos that people can watch. I have a playlist, people can subscribe to my channel there, a recent video for them to watch, and usually either my username at the bottom or my website or something like that. Different ways for people to kind of like stay involved. That way when the video is over, they're not like, okay, click off. They might see another video or playlist they want to watch and continue going. And then the more they stay watching videos, the more YouTube likes that and the more they promote your videos. Okay, my last official tip here is to use upload defaults. Now, this is in the settings section. You can adjust the things that are default uploaded in your description box and use your description box. Share different ways people can contact you. If you want your email address in there, your Instagram, different links to your shop or your Amazon wish list or whatever it is that you have. You want it to be a place where people can learn more about you. I have links to my newsletter, that kind of stuff. You want it to kind of continue the conversation, continue them getting to know you and your brand and the different things you're interested in, and it just helps. It helps things. And then if you don't have to do it every time, you can use that upload default section, and that just copies into your description every time. And then I always like to add at the beginning, add things that are relevant to that particular video, but I don't have to upload or copy and paste all those different things every time. And then my bonus tip here is to be authentic. I don't know how many YouTubers where I've unsubscribed or stopped watching because you could just tell they are no longer authentic. And that doesn't mean you have to share everything, but you can tell when people are hiding things or faking. People can tell that. And so if you're not authentic, it seems kind of redundant to be having a YouTube channel, I think. So for me, that's kind of what it all boils down to. If I'm creating videos but I'm not being authentic, it's not worth sharing. Okay, so that was a lot of different things, but if you are going to be starting a YouTube channel, I hope you can keep these in mind. If you have started one already, go back and look to see if you're doing these things. If not, I would highly recommend starting to do them. And if you have something specific you would like me to touch on as I do this YouTube series, I thought about doing a like how I edit my videos. I could do how I edit my thumbnails. I'm really open to anything. I enjoy talking about this. I might do a video on like YouTube analytics or revenue, income stuff. I'm definitely going to do one in November all about why people should join Vlogmas, because I did that for the first time this last year and it was great. But it seems kind of weird to share about that now when people aren't going to be thinking about that till later in the year. So let me know what you would like to see from this series, and thanks so much for watching, guys.